Now we come to our last match, the visit of Leeds United, the champions, to Nottingham Forest. The pictures this time come from ATV. The commentator is Hugh Johns. Leeds United in all white.
Giles. Good ball for Gray. And Eddie Gray deciding that he would catch everybody unawares and try a volleyed shot. Miskick completely. Gray, like Lorimer, can strike a very firm ball. Hunter for Gray. Hunter. Shot on. Hennessy heading out. Harris, Newton. Hunter and Gray. Now Hunter. Cross ball for Clark. Alan Clark. Alan Clark, the scorer. His second goal since he joined Leeds United from Leicester. Hennessy. Winfield looks as though he's running into trouble with a lot of white shirts there. Hennessy forward. Chance now for Moore. Hall. A tremendous save then by Sprague, and the excitement was just too much for Colin Hall. The chance of slotting in a rebound equaliser. So it's Lorimer now. Jones. Lorimer for Gray. McKinlay, Clark in. Clark down, a penalty. Winfield, the foul on Clark, and Tommy Dawes pointing positively to the penalty spot. And in fact taking his book out, and the fourth man of the afternoon goes into referee Dawes' book. Number 3, John Winfield. Johnny Giles scored a penalty at home against the Spurs in a 3-1 win. Game before last. There goes Giles now. Two-0, Leeds United. Chapman forward for Moore. Winfield. Hall. Moore. Lyons. Chance for Newton. Yes! And that came off the foot of Rees. Ronnie Rees. And it's 2-1 now to Leeds United. Free kick by Johnny Giles. We haven't seen the understanding that Leeds have built up between Giles and Bremner. We've seen rather little of it this afternoon. Eddie Gray with a chance. Oh, yes! Oh, that was a sad moment. Eddie Gray. Number 11, Eddie Gray with the scorer. Winfield not getting a full clearance on the ball. Bremner now for Giles. Lorimer, Gray on the far side wanting it. Gray facing Rees. Now Harris. Chance for Lorimer. Wow, what a goal!
And that's how it finished there. 4-1 to Leeds United, and I'm sure you'll agree that they look real champions again.
Beaten! John Hollins! Oh, what a beautiful goal!
And welcome again to the big match. And today we look at the plight of West Ham United in one of the most enthralling matches that they've played all season. A match in which they again decided to do without the services of their England skipper Bobby Moore here amidst the photographers. He simply had a watching brief as his teammates tackle the league leaders, Leeds United.
Now Brooking, will he get a shot in? Oh, down goes Sprake to save well.
But what about West Ham? Today we get strong views on them, both from Jimmy Hill and from Jack Charlton. But first of all, let's get on with the action at Upton Park yesterday. West Ham against Leeds, and what a task it's going to be for this reshuffled West Ham side, so recently demoralised by the events in Blackpool. Well, today they have a new captain, and it's Geoff Hurst, who should lift their spirits somewhat by coming back into the side after a month out with a painful back injury. So the side is still without Bobby Moore and Jimmy Greaves, and now there's a further blow when goalkeeper Bobby Ferguson is ruled out with a finger injury. Peter Grotier takes his place. Hurst and his men, of course, are fully aware of the power of Leeds, even though Leeds come to London today without their skipper Billy Bremner. Mick Bates takes his place at number 4, as he did recently against Crystal Palace.
And now for Revie. There seems to be so much space for Leeds as they come forward. Bates trying to turn it off for Madeley, and now it's with Lindsay. West Ham passing really is by no means up to standard. They really can't break Leeds United at the moment. Here's Giles again for Leeds, and Clark with a header, and Grotier must just have got a fingertip to it. And the crowd stupidly coming on. Those boys really ought to get off and should know better. Good header there by Clark, dipping his head low. Brooking to Hurst. And Brooking again. Giles in very quickly on Brooking. It's Hurst and play on, says the referee. Now Brooking, will he get a shot in? Oh, down goes Sprake to save well. And that really was a bit more like the old West Ham. I suppose in skill and thought, probably the first genuine look that we've had of the West Ham side so far in this game. Certainly in defence, West Ham are taking no chances whatsoever. They know they can't afford to be a little too clever. And safety first is, I suppose, the code of conduct out there. There's a good cross there from Hunter, and Jones going for it. And McDowell straining himself to get it away, but only as far as a corner. And John McDowell, right in front of his goalkeeper, had to get up really high to avoid that flicking off his head and behind Grotier. Lorimer, he'll play it wide again for Giles to drive it, and there it is from Johnny Giles. There may have been the slightest deflection there in that West Ham defence, but no doubts at all that Johnny Giles powered one in there, following that corner, to put Leeds United into the lead with 32 minutes gone. Lampard and Hurst. Well, using his body there to good advantage for West Ham, and Eustace right up there, and Cooper and Redknapp. Oh, in on the blind side of Cooper without seeing it. And Jack Charlton is giving his defence a fair bit of stick there. I think he's saying to Sprake that you've got to call for it. And certainly Sprake was rooted to his line, and Cooper had no idea. There's Sprake's version of it. And there's a fair old ding-dong going between Sprake and Jack Charlton at this moment. Cooper completely unaware that Redknapp was coming in so fast on the blind side. That could so easily have been the equaliser for West Ham. Jones doing well, holding it until he could find somebody. But Brooking now for West Ham to Redknapp. That's a good little run there, but I don't think it'll worry Sprake too much over that bar and behind. Oh, and he's given a corner, and Sprake is angry about it. Sprake is really furious, and so is Jack Charlton. They say it went straight across, and the referee says that Sprake put it over. And so the corner given to West Ham. The linesman already positioned for it. Here comes the corner, and Taylor going in, and Sprake holding it, and a foul given against West Ham in any case. But Jack Charlton's not going to let him get away with it as easily as that. Bonds. Now Jones coming back to tackle Billy Bonds. And Jones, in fact, flicking it wide there for Lorimer. Clark is off. Got 3 West Ham defenders surging around him, but he finds now Peter Lorimer inside for Johnny Giles. And Hunter coming up fast to drive it. Oh, and what a goal! What a goal by Norman Hunter! What a fabulous goal by Hunter. His first goal of the season, and my goodness, they don't come better than that. Putting Leeds 2 into the lead. No wonder he's looking so pleased with himself. And Lindsay. Redknapp. Brooking again. And Redknapp once more. Across there for a header, and down goes Sprague from Eustace. Lindsay, a little flick up over his own head. And Cooper finally getting it away, but only as far as Redknapp with a chance to cross it there. Hurst going in on it, and Jack Charlton to get it away. Lindsay once more. Good play there by Lindsay, and a fair-looking cross there. Hurst, Eustace there, a goal! No, not given, not given. He's disallowed it, he's disallowed it. There's a boy on the pitch, and really he ought to get off. There really is no sense on youngsters running on, whether it was a goal or not. Eustace heading it past Sprague, but disallowed. Well, that disallowed goal may have given West Ham the feel of things a little bit, but there's still so much for them to do. There's Eustace going in again with a header, and this time it is a goal! This time it is a goal! By Peter Eustace. And that does open it up again with 11 minutes to go. Reaching nicely for that one with his head to tuck it firmly wide of Gary Sprague. Hunter seemed to be going about 3 different directions at once there, but he certainly blocked it well. Now Hurst. Redknapp going in hard and beating Cooper's tackle. Hurst again to cross it. And this time Bobby Howe getting there with his head. And Brooking! Oh, he's equalised! Oh, he's equalised! Trevor Brooking! Well, that's a marvellous comeback by West Ham. Brooking's header finally doing it. Lorimer. And Bonds again. Lorimer high into that area. Giles is there, and so is McDowell. Cooper to turn it back once more. And Taylor this time to get it away as far as Lorimer. Now Bates. High into that area again, and once more Billy Bonds is there. Lampard to get it away. Once more to Bates. Oh, and now Lorimer. Oh! It's there by Belfort. It's there by Belfort. So a great comeback by West Ham is silenced as Leeds themselves make a great comeback, and Belfort closes in quickly after Grotier got a hand to it and puts Leeds ahead again.
So in the end then, a heartbreaking defeat for West Ham, although I suppose, to be brutally frank, you could say that their tremendous spirit never quite matched up to the superior skills of Leeds United. And somebody who was brutally frank about West Ham afterwards was Jack Charlton when I spoke to him. I asked him how worried Leeds had been by West Ham.
Not at all. In fact, I thought it crossed my mind about 10 minutes to go that this was probably one of the worst West Ham displays I'd seen. We expected a bit more from them.
In what way was it bad in your eyes?
Well, they didn't do, we heard they did a great deal of chasing at Arsenal last week and fighting for the ball. We expected a lot more of this than in fact we got. But then we got it in the last 10 minutes to some extent.
What about your performance today, the Leeds performance?
I thought Johnny Giles was great. Different class, John. Norman Hunt has got 2 goals, in fact. One was a deflection one, but his right-footed one was brilliant. Beautiful goal. The performance of the team, I thought we won it comfortably, even though we did nearly give it away in the last few minutes.
I'm surprised that you're so hard on West Ham.
Well, you can only be sympathetic so far. You know, it's a first division, and we need to win. Draws or losers are no good to us. We've no time for sympathy from anybody at the bottom. We've got to trample over them if we can, and get the points. You know, we haven't got time for sympathy. Nobody has any sympathy on us.
So, apart from the last 10 minutes, the worst West Ham display we'd seen, Leeds United won comfortably. The views of Jack Charlton. I must say, West Ham supporters all around me yesterday were full of questions, and the uppermost one, of course, was what is going on at this club? Jimmy Hill.
Well, in fact, a lot is going wrong with the club at the moment. There's no doubt about it. Ron Greenwood has gambled his life, his managerial life, on taking a stand. A lot of people, a lot of fans think he's taken the wrong stand and would like to see him go. They made that very clear to me yesterday, and they said their views are never expressed. Here they are expressed today. A lot of you, some of you, want Ron Greenwood to go. From my experience of football, and it's pretty extensive, I reckon that Ron Greenwood has taken the best decision in his life. He's taken hold of the club, and that I think he means to manage. And although, unfortunately, this time, what happened was that they met Arsenal in the middle of the crisis and then Leeds United at their brilliant best, I still think that the fight and the challenge he's got into that side will see them free from relegation at the end of the season.
The views of Jimmy Hill. One other point, in fact, to cheer West Ham fans, I suppose. I was looking through the home fixtures they've got to come this season. There are 9 of them, and only one of those 9 is against a team outside the first 8 in the First Division. So let's hope that West Ham pick up the points. That's where they'll want to pick them up in any case, at home. And it's Leeds, in fact, who bring us our next action, because while Arsenal were wearing down Stoke, Leeds themselves were engaged against Nottingham Forest. That's at Ellen Road, where our commentator was Keith Macklin, and the pictures come from Yorkshire Television.
Jack Charlton inevitably on the goal line. That one curling in and hit the bar from the goalkeeper. Oh, and Jones wildly over the top. But Jim Barron palmed that ball against the bar and Mick Jones fired it over the top. Hunter. Richardson heading that on with Cooper. Gray taking on Hindley and beating him on the outside. A good cross. Lorimer coming in for it. And Jones can't get his shot in again. Barron punching it away. And Jack Taylor appears to have seen something there. Probably a foul on the goalkeeper. Lorimer put that across. Mick Jones had his back to the goal. Hunter. Richardson, Cormac. Jackson with a bit of room. Oh, Hunter picking that out beautifully. Rolling it under his right foot. Cooper wanting someone to run. It's a task for Mick Jones. Oh, he read that beautifully. And the goalkeeper gets outside the area. That must be a free kick. Well, Jim Barron could do nothing else. Mick Jones read that back pass beautifully. Tried to go around Barron. Barron was out of his area and dived and took the ball. Well, Jim Barron's already come to the rescue of Nottingham Forest 3 or 4 times, and Mick Jones has been in it every time. This is Gray with room. A deflection past the post, and it must have been a deflection off a fellow Leeds player because it's a goal kick, and Eddie Gray didn't really get hold of that at all. Winfield, good ball from Richardson. That's Moore, and he's very fast, a good fast rate, a good play. Madeley back to come. Oh, nearly an own goal by Madeley. He had Sprake really stretching. Cooper finding Giles. Madeley. Jones coming over to help on the right, but that ball's clipped down towards Lorimer, who doesn't get to it. Winfield does, a weak one. Lorimer on the... Lorimer going through on his own. Gray's to the left of him. Gray's clear. And again Barron saves. Once again, Jim Barron comes to the rescue of Forest, and that should have been number 1 for Gray. 25 minutes gone, and still no goal from a lot of pressure from Leeds. Cooper with that kick. Madeley into the middle. Richardson.
Clark beaten, hooked away. Nottingham Forest have all their men back in their own half at the moment. Charlton selling a dummy to the enthusiastic Mackenzie. This is Cooper, Gray. Giles moving into position down the left. Gray going inside, using Giles as a foil. This is Clark to Bremner in the clear. Bremner, a goal! What a magnificent goal by Bremner! Bremner's done it after 26 minutes. Billy Bremner, the man that came back from a long sequence of injuries and got the vital goal against Liverpool in the first stop, has got the vital goal against Nottingham Forest. And a happy Ellen Road crowd, and more than a little relieved. The goal has come at last, and Jim Barron has been beaten. 1-0, Leeds United lead. Cooper down the left with Hindley. Oh, Gray in space. Picked up by O'Kane as Gray lost control. That doesn't often happen. Fraser. Mackenzie with Hunter. Nice back heel to Giles. A good flick to Gray as Leeds play with the confidence that an opening goal gives. Lorimer up. Clark waiting for it, pressing it down, turning round and off the legs of Barron again. Clark made that chance beautifully. Barron saved it beautifully. Mackenzie, Charlton. Chapman's header. Jackson hooking it away. Cooper getting it a deflection away to Gray. Back to Hunter. Clark not getting to that, but Jones ready to get after it and put Chapman under pressure, but cool play by Chapman. From Chapman. Hunter. Hunter still going despite that. And Lorimer, is he onside? He's onside. This must be a goal. Yes, it is. Number 2. Through ball from Hunter. The Nottingham Forest defence hesitated, looked at the linesman. Peter Lorimer didn't look at the linesman, took it round and beat Barron, and so it's number 2.
So Leeds playing well, now going to the second half.
It's a return ball. In midfield is Chapman. Moore is on the right. Change wings this half. Moore running down is Hindley in the overlapping position. Moore moving in on the penalty area, and he can hit the ball. Still going, but he overran that. Hooked away by Giles. Chapman going for it. O'Kane. Hunter timing that leap perfectly. Fraser. This is Moore. John Winfield up in attack on the left. Mackenzie gets up. Coming out to Fraser. Giles. Fraser still going. Coolly put away by Charlton. To Giles. Giles saying, somebody get up there. Lorimer it will be. What a lovely through ball. Perfect ball from Giles to Lorimer. A chip and Barron again. It could have been 5 or 6, but for Barron. Cormac. Madeley. Good tackle by Madeley. Now Giles. Forward go Leeds again. That's a good ball to Lorimer. He's got it. He's round the goalie and he's offside. Well, that must have been a very marginal decision because Lorimer waited to start his run. Lorimer on the right, but Bates running on the left. Deflected by Hindley. Holding it on the line. Forward goes Gray, wins it, Bates has it. Leaves it for Gray. Gray into the penalty area, going through himself. Is it going to be another Burnley goal? Clark putting it wide. A first timer by Clark from 10 yards wide. So yet another chance drifts by.
Well, you really got to hand it to Leeds United. They played some tremendous stuff there against Nottingham Forest yesterday, but that was their last league game, and of course all they can do now is to wait and wonder about tomorrow night. And after that victory yesterday, Keith Macklin had a word with the Leeds United manager, Don Revie, and first of all he suggested to Don that Leeds might have won a lot more comfortably than 2-0.
The chances we had, possibly we should have done, but this is the way the games go. You can't do any more than win it 2-0. The lads give every ounce of effort they've got left in the bodies after 2 hard games against Arsenal and Liverpool through the week, and I'm proud of them. They've had a great season.
What do you think about Barron's performance in goal in the first half particularly?
Well, he had 1 or 2 very good saves, and I thought he was a little bit fortunate in the first minute when this one of Jack's hit on the side of the bar and came down and he happened to get to it. And he had 2 or 3 great saves in the first half, but his best save of the match was in the second half, Keith, from Billy Bremner.
Now, on Monday night, after sweating it out through the weekend, where will you and the team be?
We'll be in Hull playing in Chris Chilton's testimonial game.
And are you making any arrangements for the score from Highbury to be relayed, from White Hart Lane to be relayed to you?
No, we won't make any arrangements. We'll just wait till 9:10 and see how it goes on.
What's your feeling, Don, after this long season in which you could be beaten at the last gasp by something like 400th of a goal?
Well, it'd be disappointing, but when a team gets 64 points, I would think it'll be another record. If we don't win it with 64, it could possibly be another record that we've created.
And what about this Arsenal side that you played last Monday? If they do beat you, Don, it's not all over yet. You personally would regard them as very worthy champions.
Yes, of course I will. They've had a tremendous run. They've been in the cup final, they've gone on the league programme and done the stuff. Actually, I got champagne in for them Monday night in case they beat us.
And we shall know at 9:10 tomorrow night just who will be celebrating with champagne.
Charlie George, who can hit him. Oh, a great goal! Charlie George!
More action now, and a lot of people, of course, still see Leeds United as a mighty threat for the leaders, Manchester United. Well, let's judge for ourselves now as we pick up Leeds United in their home match yesterday against West Bromwich Albion. The commentator is Keith Macklin. The pictures come from Yorkshire Television. Leeds United in the all-white strip.
Giles keeping going. Clark running for that, the ball going pretty fast. Clark will get there and put it in touch. Alan Clark. Cooper waiting for that. Hunter. Jones leaping, a back header, in goal, Giles! A goal! A beautifully worked goal. Jones the back header, and Giles the beautiful finishing. 15 minutes gone. Norman Hunter the cross, Mick Jones the back header, Johnny Giles the goal. Cooper. Bremner riding a scything tackle as Leeds go in search of another. Not a good pass by Jones, but it's coming through to Clark, pushing it on, and there's Jones hovering with Smith. Jones will get there. Jones, he can't get there. Smith scrambled away. That was almost number 2. Astell, Brown, Hartford. Astell, Hartford again, trying a 1-2, the ball rolling away to Sprague. Jones again. Lorimer on the right. Coming inside his man. Giles, a quick one to Gray. Gray, a shot. Eddie Gray testing Smith. Headed on by Brown. Hunter waiting for it. Charlton. Charlton delaying a little too long. Harrowstoff it by Gould. Cantello cropping up on the left wing. A low ball, and that's let Gould in. And is that in? My word, he missed the post by a whisker. Bremner. Charlton mistiming that completely. I don't think he expected it would go past the defender. That's charged down by Giles. Jones is onto it. Jones slipping that well. And a good ball to Lorimer. Clark. Gray. Is that Charlton there? Oh, and a slip by Clark. Clark and Lorimer fell over, and only a touch was required. Free kick to West Bromwich Albion, but that was a miss. Jack Charlton unselfishly placed that along the goal, and Clark and Lorimer were both there. Clark slipped, and that fooled Lorimer. 5 minutes to half-time, and yet again we see Leeds United monopolising play, but only one goal up. There's the free kick from West Brom. There's Astl's header. Cooper. Astl, the rebound. Gray to Hunter. Cooper down the left, but Hunter taking it himself. Jones, Wild coming for Jones. Giles. This is going to be a gallop. The flag is not up, so Lorimer is running. Clark is waiting for this. Into the middle, meant for Jones, hooked away by Wild. Giles with it. Leeds surely will be happy with 2 to show for the pressure at half-time rather than 1. Jones. Brown. Giles, a 2-footed tackle, but he came away with the ball. Bremner, Cantello. Into touch goes Bremner, and back he comes on Cantello. These two having a bit of a barney. And Cantello going to tell Mr. Batty his side of the case. But the verdict is a free kick to Leeds United. But Bremner and Cantello a little hot under the collar. And out comes the book. Now, are both names going in? Cantello certainly is, and I hardly think he'd have called Bremner over without taking his name too. There were... Now, Bremner, what's your name? Bremner's expression tells its own story. Lorimer.
A fiery end to the first half. Now we go into the second half. More good football from Leeds, and the pictures now go into black and white.
Bremner. Lorimer, shot! Oh, a great shot and a fine save! Marvellous effort by Peter Lorimer. Curling right foot shot, and a good save by Smith at the near post. That really was a splendid effort by Lorimer, and an equally good one by Smith. Giles again, leaving it for Clark. That's a good ball from Clark. It's Reaney on the overlap. Lorimer. Wild. Charlton. And Giles is through, but is he offside? The ball's in the net, and it's a goal. No flag went up, much to the disgust of West Bromwich Albion. And Merrick has chased after the referee to ask for offside, but that goal will count. 12 minutes into the second half, Johnny Giles, his second goal of the match, his 6th of the season. Weil. Weil again. For Hartford. Good running by Hartford if he managed to keep it in. It looks as though he did, but it all came to nothing. Good effort wasted. This is Cooper. Now that's a run for Lorimer. And the ball's in front of him, and he's onside. He's being chased by Wilson, and he's done it. A good goal by Lorimer. Beautifully taken. What magnificent finishing. That's the way a goal should be taken. A long ball from Cooper between 2 defenders, and although Wilson tried desperately to get back, Lorimer finished it the way that he's done so often this season, and that's his 14th goal. 41 minutes of the second half.
So, some wonderful form there by Leeds United. who incidentally now have the same number of points in the First Division as Derby County and Manchester City. That's 5 behind the leaders, Manchester United. And one other little point for Cardiff fans watching, I'm quite sure that they'll know that Leeds United go down to Nottingham Park on Wednesday night to play in a testimonial match for the great John Charles against John Charles All-Stars 11. Now we come to some more action, and I suppose you could argue the most significant match of the whole weekend. Leeds United, already said by some to be on the verge of becoming the greatest club side of all time in England, hotly disputed by a number of their critics, against Arsenal, the reigning champions. And for an extra bonus, of course, this could be a possible rehearsal for the FA Cup final itself. There were 45,000 people at Ellen Road, including Yorkshire television cameras and commentator Keith Macklin. But the afternoon began with a nice warm gesture by Leeds United in honour of Arsenal's winning the double last season.
The Revie Roadshow for the benefit of Frank McClintock on the Arsenal side. Billy Bremner presenting Frank McClintock with a tankard inscribed to Frank from all the Leeds United players, commemorating your wonderful achievement last season, and the Ellen Road crowd joining in a very generous round of applause for the Arsenal players. Well, I'm sure Frank McClintock on the Arsenal side will appreciate that, and they're giving a wave to the crowd. That's a nice touch of showmanship from Arsenal too. That's Story hooking it in the penalty area. Kennedy getting his head to it. Simpson trying to follow up, coming towards Jones, clips it nicely out to Lorimer. Jones is herring down the middle. McClintock's there. Well, McClintock's missed it. Chance for Jones. He's missed it. It was a long way out, but McClintock's mistake. And in the opening minute, a chance for Mick Jones. He was outside the penalty area, and Wilson was coming out to narrow the angle, but McClintock almost opened the gate there. Hunter to Madeley. Cooper. That's coming to McClintock, who's unattended. George. Hunter, of course, looking after George, getting it to Giles. Jones. Bremner. Good ball from Bremner to Jones. Free kick on the edge of the penalty area. The Arsenal players, I think, suggesting that Jones may have fallen a little too spectacularly. But it's a free kick to Leeds, quickly taken by Giles, too quickly. Story got a boot to it. Hunter. Cooper. Arsenal defence retreating. Chip forward to Clark. Is he onside? I think he is. And he couldn't get hold of it. Even then, Wilson had to stretch. But that was another chance for Leeds. Clark was not offside. Up goes Madeley, finds Jones. Clark and Giles. Bremner and Lorimer on the right. Bremner leaving it for Lorimer. Curling over towards Clark. Rice going across to challenge Clark, and it's Rice who puts it in touch. Giles wanting someone to come for it, and it's Madeley. Hunter trying to find Clark, who does get it. Almost too casual, but Madeley gets it back to Hunter. Leeds trying to open up this defence. It's Story who goes in hard. Clark. Well, again, Clark, a model of the casual. Hunter, a good floating cross off the head of Roberts. Then Nelson, then Roberts again. And McClintock not too happy about what's going on in the penalty area. This is Lorimer. Lorimer going round Nelson. There's a chip. A touch wanted. It's Clark again. There's the goal. A beautifully placed cross by Lorimer. And Alan Clark makes it 1. 11 minutes gone, and Peter Lorimer waited, looked up, put it right across the face of the goal. And it's the inevitable sniffer. Clark, who touches it in. And it's Armstrong for Arsenal. Story behind him. Rice. Roberts. Arsenal being forced square. That's a chance for Kennedy. Now ball, a first time. Oh, what a good shot by Ball. What a superb first timer by Ball. And Sprake was really stretching for that. Ball. Bremner going right across Ball, but Ball did get it away. Now Nelson. Story, but Revie will get to that first. Kennedy's there, leaving it for Charlton. Bremner. Jones and Clark hovering, waiting for the through ball. Madeley pushed that out and had to go after his own pass himself. That's the position so often Eddie Gray crops up in. Bremner, Lorimer open on the right, coming across to Clark. Lorimer from Clark. Again outside, Nelson again, the cross again, the header. Oh, what a miss! Clark scored the first goal. In all honesty, missed a sitter. Roberts is down, but play goes on. Giles to Lorimer. Roberts lying prone in the centre of the field. Referee Mr. Yates letting play go on. Here goes Lorimer again, raiding down that touch line. He's through into the penalty area. A shot, a touch, a goal. No, it's not it. It's scrambled away by Nelson. Clark got a touch to that, and out came the toe of Nelson to get in the way, just as it was rolling into the untenanted goal. Madeley's head. McClintock, Simpson, Cooper reading that all the way. Lorimer's injured in an offside position. He's hurt his back, but that's aimed towards Jones. Jones in on it, and a goal! What a mix from the defence! What an appalling mix from the Arsenal defence! Jones nipped past Nelson and Roberts, with Wilson also standing there for the simplest of goals. And Jones is hurt. But in 34 minutes, what a simple goal. Wilson, Roberts and Nelson all standing, leaving it to each other, and Jones in between them for the goal. Giles. Bremner. Harassed by McClintock, beaten by him. It's Giles who goes into the tackle. Giles trying to find Jones. Ball is there. Kennedy. Ball, busy little bee. Oh, a good ball for him, but a chance for Alan Ball. And superbly, no, what a bad luck, what awful luck. A superbly taken chance by Ball, and he deserves to score. He hit the post. Now Revie going across. Straight down towards Lorimer. That back header taken by Jones. Jones controlling it well. Trying to get in for a shot. There's a shot! Wilson past the post. No, it's not been out of play. Rice puts it behind. It was behind. And again, the Arsenal defence in all sorts of trouble as Mick Jones teed up the shot, and Bob Wilson was really stretching. Giles. And Giles looks up before he receives the ball, deciding where the ball's going to go next. Lorimer. At the near post, Clark, a flick, he didn't get hold of it. Rice. Armstrong. Bremner's up on that. 1 minute before half-time, and Rice brings down Bremner. Giles, as Leeds keep the pressure on all the time on this Arsenal defence. Clark's on the outside, but Lorimer's hit one, and a goal! In off the post. 40 yards, Peter Lorimer. Bob Wilson taken by surprise, and he crept inside the post, and that's 3. 44 minutes, and Leeds giving Arsenal the runaround they gave to Southampton and Manchester United, and it doesn't often happen to Arsenal. Story. Nelson. Kennedy in the middle. George also there, and Armstrong. Nelson trying to get round Charlton. Puts over a good cross. Up goes Kennedy. Coming out to Ball. Ball mishits it, but Kennedy has a chance to hit it. Hits Hunter. Another chance for Kennedy. This time he hits George. And again Kennedy. And Armstrong. It's Marinello, the substitute. Marinello for Kennedy, yet another chance to shoot. Again a deflection. Ball has a chance. George must score. Off the line. George again. He's missed it. Well, well, well. The number of chances that Arsenal had in that goal bout. Kennedy, Ball and George. And even when Sprake was on the ground, George couldn't put it in. And that's the way it's going for Arsenal this afternoon. Madeley is inside Revie. Clark. Now Clark in on the penalty area. And a shot. And Wilson comes out to nail the angle and takes it, but not at the first attempt. Clark, the man who worked the opening. Cooper in, hard in the tackle, on ball, and hustled off it by Rice. McClintock having words with Mr. Yates and alleging that Cooper was the offender. Rice is going to be spoken to. Ball also getting it on the act, and the book comes out, and it's a caution for Ball, I think. Come here, says Mr. Yates. Now, is it Ball's name going in the book? Yes, it is. The Arsenal players protesting about that. McClintock leading the protest. And Rice also. So 2 cautions for the same incident involving Terry Cooper. And McClintock might well go in as well. On front for Story. George getting all tangled up, but Hunter penalised. George up again. A free kick to Arsenal. Nelson and Lorimer in contention. Lorimer has the ball at his feet at the moment. And still has it. Fought for that ball. Giles. Clark. Not quite the slide rule pass normally from Giles, but Leeds still have it. And it's Lorimer. Revie. Bremner being followed by Simpson, finds Revie, takes the return ball, Simpson behind him, still Bremner going, across for Clark to hit, and the deflection, and he nearly crept in. That shot was hit against Rice, and it almost got through Wilson.
So Leeds the winners there by 3-0. Nobody could argue with that, and indeed they played some brilliant stuff there in the first half. They're now 4 points behind the leaders of the First Division, Manchester City, but Leeds have 2 games in hand. They have a very interesting couple of games coming up as well. Away to West Ham United on Good Friday morning, and then away to Derby County, the second-place club, next Saturday. It might well sort out 1 or 2 things. Well, now we move on to our third match today, and it's the visit of Spurs to Leeds United. Leeds themselves are chasing for the title. They've indeed only lost once at home this season. So it was bound to be a tough one for Spurs in the misty conditions at Ellen Road, where the pictures come from Yorkshire Television, where the commentator's Keith Macklin. Leeds are in the all-white strip.
Hunter. Good ball for Clark. Beautifully nodded for Lorimer. Evans took it off his toe. That's a corner. Again, the feeling that had that ball dropped on Peter Lorimer's lethal right foot, it could have been infinitely more dangerous for Spurs. He needs just that little more time and precision on the left. But there's a corner out of it. In! Jones! It was deflected, and Jones was the man who put it in. An in-swinging corner from Lorimer. A gentle deflection from just outside the 6-yard line, and Jones there to put it in. Bremner. Pretty fast pace this first half. Clark. And Hunter. Leeds spraying the passes about. The opening isn't yet, but it's good possession football. That's a push, an appeal for a penalty, but rejected by Mr. Burns. Jones went down. Bremner got to that. He's having to wait for the offside men to come back. He's going himself. That's not going for a corner. Naylor getting there. It still isn't cleared. It's Lorimer from Bremner. Right across for Jones again, and Jones deciding to leave it. Straight back, Cherry's up. England was there. Giles, down it goes. Yes, it is. The penalty is awarded. Gilzine, the man adjudged to have brought him down. The Spurs players protesting vigorously that Giles took a dive. Taking this one. 2-0. "36 minutes and Tottenham Hotspur obviously rather aggrieved about that. The Tottenham players thought that Johnny Giles took a dive, but Mr. Burns, whose opinion matters, didn't. And it's Lorimer taking over from the normal penalty taker Giles to make it 2-0 for Leeds. Shivers, Perryman, Giles to Clark, it's 3 against 2. Jones on the right, Lorimer on the left, Jennings out, and Jennings has saved it. Good play by the goalkeeper. Peter Lorimer appealing for something rather vague. I think certainly the referee's sympathies will be with Jennings there. Jennings again coming right off his line. It was 3 against 2. Knowles taking that on the burst. In goes Gilzine, gets it, and, oh my word, Gilzine was an inch away from a goal there. Harvey had come off his line. Gilzine, this touch artist of Tottenham Hotspur, got his head to it, and it just crept past the post. Harvey could only stand and watch it. Perryman. Bates. Hunter. Wanting Cherry to go square. Up towards Clark. Good ball from Clark, finding Bates. Bremner. Now Lorimer's herring into position, but headed away well by Knowles. To Pearce. Bremner has it. Lorimer. And Giles. Now Renie. Up towards Clark and Jones. Jones over the top. Again the ball barely parting Clark's hair, and Jones underneath it. Spurs through Knowles, Pearce. Knowles again. Hunter's out of the action, he's rolling about on the ground. There's the cross, hitting Bremner. Giles Hunter on the ground in a fair degree of pain, but play continuing. Put up towards Clark. There's Les Cocker dying to get on and attend to Hunter. But the referee has not... There's Gilzine! It had to happen! It had to happen! Gilzine getting beautifully under that cross from Cyril Knowles. And now there can be attention for Hunter, who was out of the way all the time that was going on. But at Gilzine, who was so close a couple of minutes ago, got that in from a superb cross by Knowles, although David Harvey got a hand to it.
Well, that's how it finished. Spurs beaten by 2-1, but they were a little bit upset about that Leeds United penalty. And two quotes from this morning's papers. Billy Nicholson, the Spurs manager, says, Giles conned the referee. I didn't think it was a penalty. Alan Gilzine, the man who was really on the spot there, says, Giles took a dive. I hardly touched him. Jimmy Hill.
What we have to remember is that there are 9 penalty offences. One of them is for pushing. And even if a player does just as much as that, then a referee is entitled to give a penalty if it occurs in the penalty area. But having said all that, we'll have a look at it in a moment, but even if Alan Gilzine did do a push, I didn't see anything in it that could turn Giles over in as many circles as he eventually rolled. Let's look at it now. Ball's headed out. In fact, Gilzine was in at the start of the incident there. He comes in, misses clearing the ball a little bit, and it runs off. There's what the referee might have seen, the slightest push, and there you can see Giles going over like that. And if that happens to him in boots, all I can say is I wouldn't like to see what's going to happen to him if ever he plays in roller skates.
Well, time for some more action now, and it's of course particular interest to Jackie because it's his old club, Leeds United, and their home match yesterday against Birmingham City. Leeds are in the white strip. The pictures come from Yorkshire Television. The commentator, Keith Macklin.
Mainly to Gray. To Lorimer, may hit one from there. A goal! A typical Lorimer effort. A typical Peter Lorimer shot. Renie and Lorimer both on the right, but straight through by McQueen to Bremner. Now Renie really takes the weight off Lorimer, Renie. Giles to Lorimer. High kicking by Pendry. Giles curling it up for Jones. Headed away well by Burns. Renie back to Jones. Gray's in on this. Off the top of the bar. Eddie Gray getting up to that. Licked by Jones, and the header dropping on top of the bar with Cooper stretching desperately. Phillips. That one's miscued, just as Birmingham were coming away from defence well. It's a gift for Gray. Jones running. Down he goes. Penalty. Mr. Capey having no doubt at all. Burns the offender, Jones the man brought down, and a penalty. Mr. Capey didn't waste any time as Jones went down. Burns going across to talk to the referee, which might not be the wisest thing to do. He's explaining what happened. Malcolm Page telling Burns not to argue, it won't do him any good. Ray Martin also giving the wise counsel of the experienced player. And Lorimer, who's already scored. Cooper is the goalkeeper who has to get in the way. And there's the man with the most blistering shot in football. He's already hit one past Cooper from 30 yards. This one is from merely 12. Place. Lorimer didn't need to blast that one. He sent Cooper the wrong way and rolled it in. The effect is the same, the effect on the scoreboard the same. Leeds United 2, Birmingham City 0. This is Phillips. That's for Taylor. Gordon Taylor, very tricky little winger. Having fun and games and winning out with Gray. Taylor put on to put more pep in the Birmingham attack. Mr. Capey gives a corner. Paul Madeley thinks it's a goal kick with some justification. But since the referee's opinion is the only one that counts, it's a corner. Gordon Taylor. Former Bolton Wanderers winger Roger Hind has gone onto the goal line. That was the head of McQueen getting that away. Page. Taylor. Gray, and Gray's off on his own. He's got Lorimer and Jones in support. Lorimer is onside for his hat-trick, is it? Yes! A straightforward 1-2-3 hat-trick for Peter Lorimer, made by Gray. It all began with a slip by the Birmingham defence on the halfway line, which let Gray through. There was no cover. Lorimer stayed onside and put it past Cooper. So a hat-trick for Peter Lorimer.
Well, Jack, that must have done your heart good to see that. But can I just ask you in a couple of sentences, not so much about Leeds' form, which we admire, but the honest way that they're playing this season?
Yeah, they turned the other cheek. They're great. I went to see them last Wednesday, and they don't get involved anymore. They don't shout at referees or argue. When he gives a decision, they accept it and
do you
turn
think
and
that's
walk
something
away.
that they had to do?
Oh, yeah, you know, see, Leeds is a total involvement club, and everybody likes to think that they're working for everyone else. And especially Alan Clark, you know, he likes to try and protect other people. And Alan's always been a fella that as soon as a decision was given anywhere in the park, he'd dash to it and have a comment. Yeah. And this was bad because we had nothing to do with him many times. But other players also did this. They all got involved with each other. Now they're sort of, one of them screws in it and says, let's all just sit back and if somebody's got a process, mate, let him do it alone and do it quietly. And rather than antagonise referees by crowding around him. I'm sure they'll slip back into their own ways occasionally this year, but they're great at the moment. They're doing great.
Lovely, Jack. Right, now we move on to the top of the First Division, where Leeds are looking for a finishing burst that'll put paid to the challenge of Liverpool. Yesterday, Leeds were at home to Ipswich. It was a real thriller, captured by Yorkshire Television's cameras. The commentator is Keith Macklin. Leeds United are in white.
Weenie going for it. BT. Mills. Gray could get there first. Mills decided not to use his goalkeeper, trying to get it across to Burley. Gray, Clark, Madeley. That was meant for Bremner. McQueen finding Lorimer. Tried it for 30 yards and swerved it away from Cooper. And that is the only way in which the Ipswich Town defence, with its tight marking, was going to be beaten. Hunter pushing. Alan Hunter, veteran Northern Ireland international. Hunter Norman to take the kick. Veteran England international. Beattie. Mr. Baker awards the handball, an enormous roar from the crowd. Lorimer, who's already put one bullet away. One, two, three, four, five, 6 men, Wall and Clark. What a save! Bremner score! Bremner makes it 2. It's 2-0. Cooper saved it, but Bremner went in to make it 2. And as Billy Bremner gets his 12th goal of the season, Leeds United suddenly have the tensions and the anxieties lifted from their shoulders. Gray. Hunter. Up for Clark to run. Hunter getting up well. Madeley. Jones. Gray. Lorimer. Lorimer almost getting a rebound, but Beattie the interception. Reaney got back. Johnson. Mills. Woods. Trying the 1-2. Johnson, yes! 2-1. David Johnson. Again, an element of uncertainty.
In fact, that first Ipswich goal there should have been credited to Brian Talbot. There he is, the number 8, going in there to hammer it in. The scorer, Talbot.
Chance for a quick break from Ipswich with Morris. A very early tackle by Reaney there on Woods. Went in across Woods and Mr. Baker properly penalising him. Mills. Osborne has room. To go. Scored by Hamilton at the near post. Osborne putting it over, and it's the enterprise of Hamilton with a quick flick of the near post that deflects it past Harvey, and it's 2-2, and Leeds have lost their 2-goal advantage. Johnson's past McQueen. That's a corner. It was Osborne who hit that as Ipswich on the break again looked dangerous. Roger Osborne, the oddly born player who's come in for Trevor Wymark and played so well and made the second goal. Ipswich showing their neat pattern build-up, but having got level with Leeds, they could even further dent the Ellen Road Size Championship hopes by getting a winner. Gray got up well. Burley. Cherry for Jones. Gray. Bremner for Reaney. Leeds pushing a lot of men forward now as they too go for the winner. It's Talbot. Hunter to Reaney. Clark has made it 3-2. Ipswich don't like the decision, but Lorimer's header has been forced into the net by Clark to put Leeds in front once again. The Ipswich defence claiming that Clark may have pushed the goalkeeper or had the law committed some offence, but referee
So 2 valuable points there for Leeds United, but 2 points that I think we ought to be looking at now. First of all, that second Leeds United goal, was Billy Bremner offside? As Peter Lorimer takes his free kick, we freeze it as he takes it. Look at Bremner there, advancing on the left. He looks to me to be in an offside position. Remember, if he's only level with that line of defenders, he is offside. Certainly, it was a tremendous piece of reaction play by the little Leeds United skipper, getting in with a header like that. But I think Leeds United may be just a fraction fortunate to be allowed that goal. The other one, of course, was the winner, where Ipswich were appealing against, I think, handball, coming up now against Alan Clark. I think it was there that they felt that Clark had handled the ball, but I think that'll have to be one of the mysteries that remains unsolved. The camera angle not really telling us very much. But certainly Leeds now need just 1 point from their one remaining game, that's here in London against Queen's Park Rangers next Saturday, to make sure of a title that I think a lot of people feel that they really deserve. Finally today, some of the best action we've been able to bring you, I think, the whole of this season so far. It's the Yorkshire Derby game between Leeds United and Sheffield United at Ellen Road yesterday, a game that was truly bursting with goals and goal-mouth incidents as well. It was covered by Yorkshire Television. The commentator is Keith Macklin. Leeds, of course, in white.
Spate. Well, that looked like Harvey's ball, but Hunter decided to take charge. Spate, Field, Dearden with a clear sight of goal. Oh, so unlucky! So terribly unlucky. A beautiful effort by Billy Dearden. Hit the foot of the upright. Magnificently taken chance. Now Leeds with Yorath. Jordan! Well, Sheffield United have come closest to a goal. That was a great effort, pushed through by Field to Dearden, who took it first time against the upright. But now it's Leeds on the attack. A lot of men there. Clark. Oh, Clark! Bad luck for Sheffield. A mixture of mishaps. The ball was deflected by a defender. Jim Brown, the goalkeeper, was totally stranded, and all Alan Clark had to do to get his 6th goal of the season was touch it into net. And Hunter has gone down. Hunter went down with a tackle after the ball. Now this could produce a conference with the linesman, and if the linesman saw that incident, somebody on the Sheffield United side could be in serious trouble. It's Keith Eddy who's going into the book. He followed through and hit Hunter. So 2 bookings within a minute for Sheffield United. First, Eddie Cahoon for dissent, then Keith Eddy for a late tackle. Now Badger, also. Well, this is rather sad because the game began at a cracking pace with no real ill feeling. Eddie Cahoon began it by arguing. He may have felt he was justified in doing so, but he was booked. And now Eddie has left Hunter on the ground. Badger has also gone into the book, and suddenly it's all turned sour. In fact, it isn't Hunter, it looks like Joe Jordan who went down. Yes, it is Jordan who was tumbled. So Joe Jordan gets up again, and as a result of that incident, two more Sheffield United players have been booked. free kick to Leeds United. The game now boiling up, unfortunately, because the opening 20 minutes or so was full of so much good things. But now Jordan's going in again. Hemsley, McQueen, off the line by Franks. And there are more bodies in the penalty area. Hemsley is down. It certainly looks as if members of each side have singled each other out. That's the only interpretation one can put upon this sequence of events. Ted Hemsley up. The throw taken, Lorimer to Giles. McQueen! Yes, it went in and came out. Gordon McQueen. It hit the stanchion at the back of the net and came out. Now Curry. Field back for Curry. Good move. Curry. Oh, it hit Revie on the backside, on the line. No, he may have given a penalty. I think he's saying it hit Revie on the arm and is a penalty. He's given a penalty. He said that Revie kept it out by his arm. I thought it hit him in the small of the back. The referee says no, don't argue, it is a penalty to Sheffield United. Revie, bewildered by it, but Mr. Yates and Keith Eddy comes up, and if he lands this, it's his fourth penalty of the season. If Keith Eddy puts this away, it's his fourth penalty, and he becomes Sheffield United's leading scorer. He hits the post! Well, I never! Paul Revie will say that's poetic justice. McQueen. Spade. Good shot! Oh, how unlucky can you get? How unlucky can Sheffield United be? A beautiful shot by Mickey Spade. Hit the angle with Harvey Beaton. Putting Franks under pressure, and Clark can get it. Clark has got it. It's over the line. What a weird goal. What a fantastic mix-up. Really, did you ever see anything so weird and wonderful in your life? Eddie Cahoon's back pass. Colin Franks and Jim Brown got mixed up. Alan Clark's shot deflected, and Jim Brown unable to stop it from crawling over the line. Giles. Jordan going into the penalty area, goes down. Another one. It's another penalty. Mr. Yates rules it straight away. Joe Jordan, and this Cahoon falling about laughing, can't believe it. Cahoon sees it as a sick joke. I know that Sheffield United manager Ken Furphy and one or two players saw the FC Zurich game, saw the circumstances of Leeds United's penalty in that game, and were watching for that this afternoon, but Mr. Yates had no doubt. And this could be four. Four. free kick to Leeds United. Up for Joris. Good goal! Good goal and a beautiful goal. A really fine goal. What a wonderful goal. Chipped up by Johnny Giles. Terry Joris knew exactly where he was going and where the ball was going to finish. Joris. Leeds now have strung together nearly 40 passes and only once. Now, Mr. Yates has blown his whistle and brought it to an end. He's coming to have a word with Terry Joris, who's hobbling about. Now, Joris presumably accused of either ungentlemanly conduct or talking too much. A free kick has been awarded to Sheffield United. Up for Dearden. Yes, a goal! The bizarre events of this match continue. A most remarkable free kick when Leeds had possession and no Sheffield United player was anywhere near them. Awarded against Terry Joris, and out of it comes a goal for Billy Dearden, which Sheffield United deserve, but which really adds another chapter to a most incredible sequence of events in this game.
Well, 5-1 it finished. But now let's move on to more goals and thrilling action as we bring you Leeds United against Everton at Ellen Road. Leeds moving up all the time. Everton now with an 18-year-old goalkeeper, Drew Brand, making his first league appearance for them. The pictures come from Yorkshire Television. The commentator's Keith Macklin, Leeds in white.
Mackenzie with three defenders. Free kick on the edge. Again, a case of remember the referee has to make a split-second decision. And he looked right enough. Inches outside the box. Free kick to Leeds. Lorimer. Yes, the deflection! Lorimer's ninth of the season. Watch the deflection from this shot. Driven hard and low. Off the outside of the leg. Lyons. Hamilton. Latchford over the top of him, and Everton looking pretty dangerous now. Good spell of football from Everton. Good cross just over the top of Latchford. Joris in possession for Leeds. Joris getting away from Buckley. Square to Cherry. Frank Gray. There are men in the middle. Kenyon and Mackenzie. Banged away by Lyons. Throw to Leeds United. Quickly taken by Rini to Joris. Down for Clark. Clark round his man. 2. Clark's finishing when he's in this mood is as clinical as a surgeon's knife. It was Lyons who fell and gave him his chance, and Clark rarely misses them like that. 2-0. Back header by Latchford, found Telfer. Telfer going well past Frank Gray. And all, is that a penalty? Could well be, yes. Madeley gave it away. I don't think there's a lot of doubt about this. Telfer's past Gray. Now watch Madeley's tackle. Now the men who have scored from penalties for Everton this season are not on the field. Smallman has hit one and Jones has hit one, and neither of them is playing, so who's going to take it? Dave Clements, by the look of it. The ball has not been returned. Yes, it has now. With 5 minutes before half-time, a penalty to Everton, and in the absence of Smallman and Jones, it's David Clements to take it. The crowd booing, but there looked a pretty clear case for penalty. (2-1). David Harvey saying he wasn't ready. David Harvey is saying to the referee he wasn't ready for that. He was picking bits and pieces. Now Harvey doesn't look quite ready, but Clements certainly is. 2-1. Now, Mr. Burns going across to have a word with the linesman, who may well take Harvey's side. Yes, Harvey has made his point. David Harvey was picking bits out of the goal mouth when Dave Clements took that, and the linesman interceded on his behalf. So Dave Clements has got to keep a cool head and try to do it again. And as Clements walked up there, Billy Bremner had a word with him, and one wonders whether a war of nerves is going on here. The crowd booing, a retaken penalty, a lot of pressure on the Irish temperament of Dave Clements. But he wins, he got through it. It is 2-1, and there's no argument this time. And that penalty took 2.5 minutes to take. Now Rini. Cherry. Down for Mackenzie. And it's Kenyon. Didn't have enough pace to go behind. Kenyon, Yorath into touch. 1 minute to half-time. Plus, of course, any added time. Sargent. Flick, beautiful flick, beautifully taken from Latchford by Dobson. Madeley. Cherry dropping for Kenyon. Kenyon at his shin scrape. Here's Lorimer. Lorimer getting past Clements. Lorimer goes down. Penalty. Another penalty. This time for Leeds. Clements hustled by Lorimer. Watch again the tackle. Mr. Burns awards his second penalty on the stroke of half-time. Roger Kenyon is, I think, the man down. Let's see what happens here. Now, Mackenzie caught Kenyon. The penalty is about to be taken. Poor Andrew Brand, what an afternoon. Lorimer's the man taking it. 3-1. No goalkeeper in the land could stop those. Clark. Yorath. Got that back from Hamilton. Eddie Gray. Madeley. Rini. That was off Kenyon. Yorath. Clement's going for it, so too is Lorimer. Rini to Yorath. Cross up for Clark and Eddie Gray. Brand's dropped it. Oh, what a save! Eddie Gray! Eddie Gray again! This time it's in! It took a long time, but it's Eddie Gray's first goal of the season, and Leeds United's fourth of the game. The young goalkeeper here made 2 saves. There's the first one. What's this one? Good save. And Eddie Gray had 2 bites. Mackenzie trying to flick it past side until obstructed. Lorimer has Clement and Dobson. Free kick has been awarded. Floated across for Kenyon's header. A corner. Corner to Leeds United, keeping up the pressure. Clark! Really, this young man, Brand, may have been beaten 4 times. No club could wish for better service from a goalkeeper. Clark's header, pinpoint, terrific save. It'll be taken again. Well, Andrew Brand may feel that he's been thrown into the lion's den this afternoon, but he really has pulled off some terrific saves in this half, and he may be called upon to save another any second now. There, Clark, 5! Brand punched it out the feet of Clark. Clark did the rest. Lorimer mistiming that for Clements. Leeds now having got 5. No need to burst any blood vessels. Darracott. Good flick for Latchford. 2. 5-2. Bob Latchford, who's had such a thin season, gets his 5th goal of the season in the 39th minute. Darracott. Hamilton letting it go through, clipped through for Latchford, and the man who was dropped by Billy Bingham because he couldn't score goals gets one.
Brilliant, and that's why Peter Lorimer told us that it was one of the best Leeds performances for 10 years. Well, our second match today takes us from the top of the second division to the bottom of the first, where it's been a long and relentless battle for Bristol City since they got back to the top division. Yesterday they went as the bottom club to Leeds United, clearly needing at least a point to keep them going. A return to Ellen Road of the old Leeds favourite, Norman Hunter. The match was covered by Yorkshire television commentator Martin Tyler. Bristol City are in the dark shirts.
Over and a deflection of giving Thomas a chance, and a second chance surely for Gwyn Thomas, and that's the way to start your Football League career. Only 9 minutes into his first full league game, and Gwyn Thomas opens his scoring account, and it was really the Leeds, Bristol City knocking it about with just a little bit too much confidence, giving Thomas the first chance. Shaw couldn't hold it, and Thomas was quick enough to follow up, and that's 1-0 to Leeds. One wonders if Joe Jordan might have had a word at half-time about the quality of the crosses, of the balls being played into him. It's a better one this time, looking for McQueen, and Eddie Gray is there at the far post to make it 2-0. No complaints about the ball from Tony Curry. McQueen beating Garland to it, and Eddie Gray looking for that sort of eventuality, just turning it across the line.
Well, of course, a bad blow for Bristol City, with West Ham having picked up a point at Middlesbrough on Friday, and both Sunderland and Derby County getting 2 points yesterday, and Spurs as well, of course.
Oh, and Pearson put through by Greenhoff. Jones is after him. Pearson shot, goal!
But let's move on quickly now to our next game. 6 goals in the one we've just seen at West Ham. Another 5 coming up now as Manchester City, still up amongst the pacemakers at the top of the first division, met Leeds United, who were in the lower half of the table. The pictures come from Granada Television. The commentators, Gerald Sinstadt. Manchester City are in the darker strip.
Donachie to Dennis Stewart. Flynn harassing. Clements. Maybe the high one, there it goes. And out it comes from Cherry. Helped on for Kidd to chase. And a corner. Dennis Stewart just toe-ending that through. Kidd bustling through fast. Barnes corner. And a header by Doyle, and Stewart over the top. Mike Doyle is the player to look for on the run to the near post. There's his flicked header, drops nicely for Stewart, but he struck the volley over. Donachie. Donachie. Shannon for Stewart. Hartford. Power shot blocked. Shannon coming. Deflection and in. The wheeling arm of Mike Shannon signalling the first goal of the game. Lifted across to him, and the shot deflected and past Harvey. Donachie. Doyle Shannon. Donachie again. Parr. Donachie. Doyle. Chance for him to shoot. And well saved this time by Harvey. Doyle shot from all of 30 yards. Donachie set it up. Mike Doyle set himself. And Harvey made a good two-handed save. Donachie. Shannon. Barnes. Clements running ahead. Barnes aiming to go inside for that left foot of his. Viciously hit, but swerving the wrong way. Peter Barnes, always dangerous when he goes cutting inside, looking for the left foot shot. But that one was the away swinger. Flynn, Graham and Flynn again. Graham inside him, running at Hartford. Clements back spoiling. The referee has given a free kick for a foul by Clements. Inevitably, McQueen comes forward again. There he is, that familiar blonde head. Such a powerful header of the ball. And Lorimer, who knows a bit about dropping it just where he likes it. This time it's Jordan. McQueen was the decoy and Jordan took the profit. Nicely controlled and flighted by Lorimer, and Jordan a good jump, beating the post, beating Corrigan. Jordan out jumping Watson, and Graham taking the benefit of the rebound. Hankin was on, and Graham in. Determined running after the chance, paid off. Graham played the through ball, got a rebound off Doyle. There was almost a mess here. Hankin determined to have the shot. Corrigan blocked it, and Graham got through for the goal. Power to Brian Kidd. Stewart. Hartford. It's come for Cherry. Jordan. Harris. Harris a chance to run into a big gap. Hankin's control was poor, but his second shot was all right. And Manchester City's defence fell to pieces. Harris credit for a good break. And the pass to Hankin, and he let the ball run so far away, he should really not have had the second chance. But when it came, he took it well. Watson. Hartford. Donachie finding Shannon. McQueen tackled. Watson asking a lot of Donachie. Jordan for Harris. Hankin free. Hankin's shot beaten away by Corrigan. Left desperately exposed once again. Corrigan can't understand it. Once again, the Manchester City defence in all sorts of trouble as Hankin was left free. The shot was good and hard. Corrigan's save was good too. Good jump by Hankin. Hartford. Donachie. Hartford again. Shannon. kid. Picked up in the air by Hartford, knobbed by Tuart, and it's come out to Barnes. Good shot! The kind of finishing that Manchester City have signally failed to show earlier. The ball pushed through to Barnes and the left foot shot just inside the far post.
So a 3-2 win for Leeds. For our third game today, we stay in the First Division for the game between Leeds United and Southampton. Leeds, in fact, have been showing something of an upsurge since the arrival of manager Jimmy Adamson. We caught Southampton on the big match last Saturday when they were again in the north and beaten 2-0 at Middlesbrough. Let's see how the Saints make out this time. Pictures from Yorkshire Television, commentator Martin Tyler. Leeds in the all-white strip.
Williams for Southampton, who numerically in the middle of the field are working quite effectively at the moment. Now Flynn. Graham having to check back. What a marvellous shot and what a marvellous goal from Arthur Graham. When it looked as though he was being crowded out and Southampton had appeared to deny him with numbers. Graham working back, initially going away from the goal and then turning on the left foot and right into the corner. Frank Gray. Hankin calling for the long ball, getting it. Down for Hawley. Well, building a good understanding, the two big men up front for Leeds. Hankin trying to send Hawley in. Out from Golak. In goes Madeley. Across comes Nicol and he's lost it. And it's Graham again. Now Paul Madeley. It was deflected. The goal is given. And Paul Madeley gets the congratulations. And they won't want to take that one away from him. And the smiles all around because it's Boxing Day 1975 that a goal was last credited to Madeley. He needed the help of the deflection there. Left Geno helpless. Eddie Gray to Curry. Cherry. Flynn. Frank Gray. Southampton struggling to pick everyone up and they didn't find Curry. Hankin applauds. Curry reflects. Defenders were looking this way and that to see who they should be marking and they didn't pick up Curry. He may well have been trying to just get it across the face of the goal, but it needed the save. And the referee allowing play to go on with Leeds still in possession. Hankin. Graham. Fine save and Geno collected as Hawley came in looking for the present. Arthur Graham, whose shooting has been clean as a whistle today, on the half volley, parried by Geno, and then gathered by him at the second attempt. Curry again. And, knowing that the ball was full of quality and taking a bow. Frank Gray. Hawley hit the post and he couldn't get in the second time. Well, it was so nearly another goal for the Leeds top scorer, John Hawley. A fine header. Geno palpably beaten, it rolled along the line and came out as Hawley went in again. Eddie Gray, another of the 30-plus brigade. Curry. Oh my goodness! And Tony Curry milks the applause that is so deserved. Minutes into the second half, and a moment to savour from a player of supreme talent. The curve totally beating Terry Geno. Peach. Hart just got there now. Golak. Oh, well, he must have thought his first goal in the Football League was coming up, Ivan Golak. The other full-back, David Peach, very much involved in the move, and when it came off Paul Hart, it seemed to have fallen kindly for Ivan Golak, but he flailed at it with his right foot and missed. Eddie Gray. Graham to Cherry. And again they're caught, and Hankin is onside, and Golak has put it into his own net. Hankin can smile, he certainly caused the problems. But it was poor Ivan Golak who added to Southampton's tale of woe. Hankin adjudged onside. Here comes Golak, touching it with his left foot over poor Terry Geno. It's 4-0. Holmes. I still feel that Southampton might snatch at least a consolation goal. Ball organising the free kick. Leeds have 5 in the wall. Holmes taking it. And again, Harvey was entitled really to have cold hands, showing that he continues in this fine vein of form. Holmes' shot avoided the wall, and it was the goalkeeper's side of the goal, but he hung on to it well. Nicol, and another fine save. Well, it's ironic when they talk about Scotland having a goalkeeping problem, but this man at the moment isn't even considered. Baker's cross, Nicol's header, and Harvey this time going to his other side, to his left, pouring it out and reacting quickly enough to make sure it was his.
4-0 then for Leeds United. Clearly the northern air not suiting Southampton at the moment.